come here first because you know what? We're going to help you. We want a forensic.
Ma'am, I would ask that you keep your, hold on a second. Stop her time. Stop her time.
You told Trump you ain't gonna blink. Well, we ain't either. You ain't above the law. And where you gonna run to when Trump pulls that Trump card out on you?
There's a 10-year prison sentence when you want to stand up here for those illegals.
You know, some people are now changing their tune about the illegal immigrants in their city, and some people in Chicago are really not having it with Mayor Brandon Johnson. Welcome back, Warriors. It's me, Linda B. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. Immigration. A lot of cities are saying they are not going along with this federal plan to deport the immigrants in their city. They're not going along with it, and they're saying they're going to give some pushback to Donald Trump and border czar Tom Homan. But before we get into this, I want you guys to like this video, comment, share, subscribe to my channel. If you have not already, hit that notification bell, make sure it works, and watch the video all the way to the very end. Now let's get into it. Now, I got to say that Mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, is one of those mayors that plans on resisting deportation of illegal migrants in his city. If you have seen any of my videos with him in it, there's been a lot of chaos with city council meetings. And this is another city council meeting in which the residents of Chicago are really letting him have it. They're tired of him. They don't want him. They constantly bring up Donald Trump, but he's saying he's going to resist Trump and border czar Tom Homan in their efforts to deport illegals. That is what he said, along with different mayors in California and in other places. They want to resist. But when you have a federal law, they really must not know the law, because we're talking about Donald Trump and we're talking about Tom Homan. And Donald Trump has already said he is going to stop federal funding to those cities if they do not cooperate. But let's just hear in on another city council meeting in Chicago right now with these residents who have had it.
Our next speaker is Danielle Carter.
So Brandon, you and all these Democratic mayors out here and governors, y'all talking about crashing out for these illegals, right?
Before I continue with this, she has, as you notice, on a Chicago Flips red t-shirt. So she is pro-Republican and going up against Democrats. And there have been a lot of people who have flipped from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party. And I'll say this, it was a blessing in disguise when Biden actually won the presidency. Didn't actually win, but you know what I mean. When he became president and president-elect in 2020 and assumed the office in 2021, because we got to see firsthand the differences between a Trump administration and a Biden-Harris administration, from pro-MAGA to pro-everybody else but America under Biden and Harris. We got to see firsthand the corruption and the destruction that the Democrats were doing to our country. So it actually was a blessing in disguise, and it was allowed for the scales to fall off of people's eyes. God did that. It was a temporary pause in what God wants to do so the scales can fall off of people's eyes, because I'm going to be honest with you. That's what caused the scales to fall off my eyes. Almighty God showed me. And then I saw all the twin stuff that they're trying to push off on the children, and we're supposed to go along with that. And it was just a total falling of the scales off of my eyes and millions of Americans' eyes as well. So sometimes things look bad, but they are a blessing in disguise.
You all sit up there and said you will not allow Trump to come in here and get these illegals. Yeah, you can smile. We're in $1 billion deficit. And you spent half of our money, half of that on illegals. You campaign and double down that you would not raise property taxes. I ain't gonna do that. You campaign went around doing that. And here we are right now. You wanted to raise our taxes $300 million. They shut it down. Now we back here for $150 million. Okay. See, this is what we asking now. Since you want to crash out, some of y'all say y'all willing to go to jail for it. Trump, Tom Homan, Make an example out this Negro right here first. Please come here first, because you know what? We're going to help you. We want a forensic
Ma'am, I would
audit.
ask that you
We want a
keep your, hold on a
forensic
second, stop her time. Stop her time. Just a second, stop her time. Ma'am, I would ask that you, if you want to continue speaking, you have to make sure that your language is appropriate, okay? All right.
I didn't hear any curse words. Did y'all? I mean, maybe I missed it. Oh no.
Right.
Alex,
Okay, you can begin her time again.
you're going to spend our tax dollars to go, Michael Rodriguez, you said to take Trump to court to protect these illegals. You said you're going to spend our tax dollars to take Trump to court to protect these illegals if they try to come in here in your district. And then you said all of y'all in cahoots with each other to do it. Okay, so now we about to make y'all famous. We're gonna let all y'all constituents know who y'all ratting for, that y'all wouldn't spend our tax dollars to protect illegals and to get them legal services. So that's what we're doing. That's cool, because we about to make all of y'all aldermen famous. Y'all think this is how it's gonna rat? I think not. Flip Chicago red. We not playing.
Whoa, I told you. Flip Chicago red, and Donald Trump made great inroads in Illinois, even though Kamala Harris ultimately won the state of Illinois. And I don't know if you guys know, I'm sure you're aware that politics is a corrupt business anyway, but in certain areas, they are just really rampant in corruption. Illinois is one of them, DC, and you're talking about certain places in Arizona, Maricopa County, Fulton County, Georgia. Some places are really extra corrupt, even though it's corruption and politics everywhere. But those areas just stand out to me. You know, you got to have some balls to say that you're going to take a president to court. You're going to take him to court over this, over illegals. They're not supposed to be here anyway. What in the world are these people thinking? Donald Trump is not going to play with you. He's not going to tickle get fancy. He's not going to use smooth talking, slick oil salesman language. He's going to come up in here like a sledgehammer. So if y'all want to act stupid, you keep on. You better do like the mayor of New York City, Eric Adams. Eric Adams knows what time it is. We're going to talk about him later, because he saw the writing on the wall and said, you know what? Let me go ahead and be compliant. Even though he's crooked as well, but he's got sense enough to know he's not trying to go up against Trump. Please. And even the cases that they had up against Trump have fallen to the ground, fallen completely apart. We see what's happening. I believe there is a purge, a spirituality taking place, that God is purging the land of evil, even when it comes on the local level. This is spiritual, guys, and I hope you see it.
Our next speaker this morning is Miss Lawrence.
Now let's get down to Tom Homan and 8 USC 1324. Different editions of 1994, 2020, 2021, and 2022 about you harvesting aliens. And you so strong about protecting those aliens, but you won't do nothing for the U.S. citizens. We are the ones who pay your salaries. Salaries. Let me accentuate on that. But yet, you want to overlook us like we don't exist. Well, you're not going to exist for the next election, because there's a 10-year prison sentence when you want to stand up here for those illegals.
Our next speaker is
10-year prison sentence. You want to stand up for those illegals? And you got to think about, these people pay taxes. And I want to go back to what the first woman said, who had the Chicago Flips red t-shirt on. She literally said that Brandon Johnson he campaigned on not raising property taxes, but then they wanted to raise them $300 million. Just lie like a Democrat does. That's what demons do. That's what the Democrats do. And then now they shot that down. So now it's 150 million, still raising taxes a significant amount. That's not fair. Not taking care of the people who work hard. They obey the law, mind their own business. They pay taxes, and then they get pushed aside and treated like dirt. And see, Donald Trump is America first. He's not anti-immigrant. He's just anti-illegals. And they got to go and be vetted. That's just what's up.
George Blakemore.
Brenda Johnson didn't bring this doo-doo here. It's been here. Old Man Daley, Harold Washington, Richard Daley, Lady Lightfoot. This man did not bring this doo-doo in this room. It's been here. And you've been voting for this doo-doo too. But well, maybe some of you have, and maybe this is all rigged. They're all Democrats. And it's been this way. So some of y'all get up here and spit in this mic and holler, it's been this way. This is nothing new under the sun. Now, how are you going to get rid of all of them? All of them, and make it happen, make it work. I don't think you're going to do it just holler and go red. I think you're going to have to have some strategic aims to clean this doo-doo up. This is old doo-doo. This doo-doo go back a long time. And you don't smell it now because it's dry, but you can see the results of it. It needs to have a change here. All of them are the same. Every one of these men and women are the same point. All of them. So what can you
Stay in the microphone, Mr. Blakemore. Stay in the
a
microphone.
revolution to change this system and clean it up and have a real democratic system, a democracy where you have different points of view. Everybody here is the same doo-doo. All of them. Have you ever seen a bad
Thank you very much for your comments. However, your time has expired.
Woo, this man said it didn't start with Brandon Johnson. He named some other mayors, and then he got to Lori Lightfoot. I remember her. And then, it got to the current one, Brandon Johnson. He said it's because they Democrats. These people are Democrats, and I don't care which one you get, you will get the same thing. That's why people got to realize they're not, if you keep voting Democrat in your cities, you're going to get the same thing. They've got problems just below in Village of Dalton. They've got problems in the Village of Dalton with Tiffany Henyard because she misused funds. She didn't take care of the citizens. Her city council meetings are a hot mess with the residents of that suburban township just outraged at her, and she's under FBI investigation. See my clip on her. I'm doing a video on her. So it's not that you can get a different Democrat and supposedly get better results. The problem people need to realize is because they're Democrats, okay? You're going to get a different face, same problem. Same script, different actor, but the same script. They get paid to do nothing. They hurt the community. They're getting paid a lot of money not to do anything too. That's why they're standing there looking like, okay, y'all can fuss, but they paying me big time money to take out my own people. They the sellouts, the sellout crowd. That's what they are, the sellout crowd. And let's just reiterate the fact that Chicago is in a $1 billion deficit. They taking care of these illegals like they've been here, like they were born here, speaking English and doing, I'm not against anybody that don't speak English, don't get me wrong, but you got people that were born here doing right, and they get treated literally like poop. And that man was like, the doo-doo stank. You may not smell it anymore because it's dried up, but you see where it is. I was like, all these defecation references, really got me going. But that was Mr. Blake Moore, that colorful man. I see him at a lot of those city council meetings. I guess they just have them speak, but they don't plan on doing anything. But once Donald Trump drops that hammer on you and you don't get any federal funding, and he is going to do something that's going to make you comply, you better get your behind in order. That's a fact. And it's not enough to say flip Chicago red. You got to get all the doo-doo out of there. Clean it up, sanitize it, put some bleach on it, get some Pine Sol, get your Lysol. You got to get it up. Even the stench of it needs to be gone. I better not even hear one little streak That's what y'all need to do. Now here goes another one. The mayor of New York City, Eric Adams. You know, the one that did all the dirt and called and said, oh, we're a sanctuary city. We this and we that. And then he made some comments against the Biden-Harris administration. And then they got him in some legal trouble with some campaign funds. See, they knew about it, but he was doing what they wanted him to do. But when you step out of line, you mean to tell me you got a mind of your own, Eric Adams? Let's see what he has to say.
Those who are here committing crimes, robberies, shooting at police officers, raping innocent people, have been a harm to our country. I want to sit down and hear the plan on how we're going to address them. Those are the people I am talking about, and I would love to sit down with the board of czar and hear his thoughts on how we're going to address those who are harming our citizens.
This is Eric Adams, again, a New York City mayor of New York City. So he saw the writing on the wall and started giving little hints. Now he's going to meet with Donald Trump. Yes, he's going to meet with him and the border czar, Tom Homan, on how to better address this. Anybody that's committing crimes got to go. And you saw that Venezuelan gang member who shot 2 police officers. Something about Venezuela, man. Those Venezuelan gangs are fierce. They ripping people out of their homes in Colorado, Aurora, Colorado. They've been doing one of them, you know, unalived Laken Riley, who was a nursing student at Augusta University. She was on the campus of UGA. You guys all heard about that. They're doing a lot, and we supposed to just let it happen. They want to turn our city, seemingly Democrats, just about destruction, in my opinion. You know, everything they do, none of it's in regards to benefiting Americans. I don't know what happened to that party. They have turned full-blown destruction mode. And, you know, I don't even think the party itself is going to learn from its mistakes. The only thing they know how to do is they're going to come up with some woman from 15, 20, or maybe 10 or 7 or 8 years ago in Pete Hex's case, you know, that whole allegation against him. Every time someone is up appointed and they're trying to do the right thing, some allegation from way in the past comes up. Oh, he touched me inappropriately. You know, everything the Democrats do is to hurt, you know, not to help. Oh, they helping the illegals continue to do what they're doing, and all the money that's been spent and the deficits, all the money, and the fact that some of these folks actually say that they're going to come up against Donald Trump. I want to see how that works out for y'all. I want to see how it works out. You see what Mayor Adams is doing. He's willing to at least sit down and see what we can work out. New York is doing better than Chicago right now. Your mayor has done a lot of dirt in New York and definitely Chicago. But at least Eric Adams is going to be willing to sit down. You got to sit down and talk to these folks. He's going to be the president. All right, that's Donald Trump, and Tom Homan is the border czar. So everybody needs to get in line. And I want to just say this again for people who love to vote based on skin color, because you know Kamala Harris ain't black. I just wanted to throw that in there. I know that's a little thorn in your side in case some of y'all don't know who voted for her, who may land on this channel. She played you like a drum. She played you like a fiddle, because Candace Owens blew that wide open, cat's out of the bag. And I'm not even talking about Cat Williams, the comedian. Cat's out of the bag. Oh, it's all out in the open, and there's going to be more exposures. See, I don't think Donald Trump is going to actually, you know, go after people with retribution in the legal sense, go after them. I don't think, unless he absolutely has to, because they tried to unalive him. I'm just saying. But I think what he's going to do, this is my opinion, that he's going to expose them for who and what they really are. And I'm all here for it with butter popcorn and everything. I'm here for it. I am so here for it. Guys, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to smash that like button, comment, share, subscribe to my channel. If you haven't already, hit that notification bell. Also, I will be having another channel, the Linda B Show. Hope you all check it out. You all be blessed. Love God, your families, the United States of America, and march on, warriors.